that can help us inform programming going forward. There are moments in 2023 that we need to leverage on, and especially looking at the different political opportunities that we meet on a daily basis. Now, to get us rolling, I would like us to recap with some of the questions that were pending yesterday. I know there was a presentation by the Kenya Bureau of Statistics, and that a number of questions emerged from that presentation, and specifically one online question that I know one of the colleagues in the audience will be able to help us reflect on. James Gatungu, if you are somewhere, there was this question online from Henry Ngete. I would appreciate if this question is read and if the respondent is available to respond to this question. Otherwise, I'll move to the next session where we can open up a bit of question and answers for one of the sessions that was left pending because of time. James, are you somewhere? Yes, please go ahead and read the question. I'm told you are the person who have access to the question that was from Henry Ngete online. Or you are the one who is going to respond, right? Yes. So the online question, who had it? Please come. Let's share the podium. Please. Lucy, please prepare yourself to respond to this question, and then the next session our colleague James will respond to.
Good morning. So we had a question by one Lena Cherotich. The question goes, a personal reflection, where is the place of qualitative data in our multisectoral decision-making processes? Indeed, qualitative data is not intended to be a representative, but should be rigorous enough to inform decision-making. As we know, it is very vital in helping us unpack the dynamic and complex issues so that we can contextualize, unpack, complement qualitative data. A key challenge we face is that qualitative data is perceived and experienced as resource-heavy and not easy to capture in the interactive dashboards. Subsequently, although we collect them, they are not consistently optimized as we step up multisectoral programming. We have to equally challenge ourselves to step up and innovatively broaden our evidence base so that we can consistently and timely monitor, evaluate, capture, analyze, and utilize difficult and complex qualitative indicators that track, measure, soft system issues such as collaboration, commitment, accountability, significant change and adaptations, contextual variations, user perspective, etc. Asante. There are two other comments that were raised in the afternoon session. The first one is from Metrin Muricho to everyone. Climate smart agriculture will get us there. Climate financing, thanks Lydia Kimani of SOCAA. Then she goes again as a comment. Capacity development coupled with media and communication at all levels will leave us achieve more. Educational communication materials be developed all over the country. Thank you so much. That is what was raised by the online audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lucy, if you could respond to that question that was asked. I think the rest are comments that we can reflect on even as the session progresses. Lucy? Please, the roving mic. Yes.
Good morning, colleagues. I'm Lucy Maina Gategi. I work with UNICEF. I will respond to the comment, and indeed a very rich comment, already unpacking the importance of the qualitative data. And its importance can never be underrated, and actually helps us to understand the whys or the reasons that we see what we see in the quantitative elements. There has been a lot of efforts to integrate qualitative elements in our M&D systems. And here speaking about the sector, as the Ministry of Health M&D colleagues are not here. And for example, when we look at the midterm review for the KENYA-AFYA, we really tried to integrate the qualitative elements within the review, as well as the evaluations that we are doing as we assess the progress that is made by the different programs that we have, that we are implementing at large scale, whether it is the partner-supported assessments, such as the UNICEF MCNP 2, it was very heavy on the qualitative elements that were looking at the support that was being offered to the sector. We also have the small-scale surveys that we actually separated from, for example, the integrated small-scale nutrition smart surveys, for this very reason, that we were not being able to conduct the qualitative elements as comprehensively as we would have wanted them. And in this case, the MIYCN knowledge, attitude, and practices surveys really cover the qualitative elements. When we look at the capacity assessments that we have really standardized in the country, the main approach is actually qualitative. But what we have observed as a continuous challenge is how enormous the data gets, and therefore the analysis timelines and availability of the required requisite capacity to deal with this data is not really adequate. It has remained an area that we attempted to build the capacity even of the counties, but it was not that straightforward. Maybe also we don't have as many experts in qualitative elements. And Lina, most welcome to suggest ways that we could tap the qualitative capacity that we may have among the few people or experts that we have. But just to confirm that qualitative data has really been also at the core of what we are doing with a lot of KIIs, key informant interviews, even as we go into the synapse and KNAPS development, the opinions of all the data that we have collected through qualitative data methods will form a core part of the process. Thanks, and over to you, Chair.
Thank you, Lucy. That is a great insight, and I believe the time for us to be able to appreciate qualitative evidence, either as part of looking at the impact that we create as a result of actions that we undertake, or as information and evidence that we can use to build or design new programs here. So I believe qualitative experts are available within this audience and outside this particular symposium. There are opportunities that we can be able to leverage on. Allow me to move to the next Q&A. This was also one of the sessions that was held yesterday with KNBS and KIPRA as panelists, and it focused on policy papers from NIPIN. I believe many of you are conversant with NIPIN, and given the fact that we're already talking about information in terms of evidence, then this becomes an interesting area. And for those of us who are in the policy realm, I think it's important for us to appreciate that whenever we are talking about looking at the future of any country, any programming, any sector, then policies are very critical for us to be able to analyze and appreciate what reflections we can have, what remedies we can be able to inject in so that our policies can bear fruits in terms of objectives that we have. This particular session, I think, had a number of issues because there was something on irrigation policy brief that was shared, sanitation and social protection, rice fortification policy brief. All this document, I believe, many of you were able to interact with yesterday during the presentation, and I think it would be great to hear some of the comments or questions that would accrue as a result of this presentation. So I'm opening it up. Any question that were pending for this particular presentation, please, roving mic, if you could take it to that gentleman. I'll take the first three, and then if there isn't any, we can close that session. I believe Ken, BS, and Kipra colleagues are here, and we can be able to interact with them during tea break. So the first to that gentleman on the far, the second one here, and then the last one. I am really looking for a lady because all of them are three. So allow me to be, to practice gender, equality, affirmative action at all the time. So we have 1, 2, 3. Please, any lady, if you volunteer, whether we are already having 3, I'll give you. Okay, so let's go there first, please.
Okay, good morning. So this is Titus Leokoi. I work with USAID in Awiri, Samburu County, as the Health and Nutrition Advisor. So those were very good initiatives that we had yesterday. But my question is around the policy on irrigation and child stunting. And there was one particular recommendation around the integration of women or mothers into irrigation agriculture.